We got the go-ahead for juveniles to return on Monday fortnight, that's April 26th. So you can see, Lexa here has been shut all winter. It's been tough. It's been a very tough winter for the club and in particular for the kids. I know my own house, we're going stir crazy. So I think that's great news for all our members that we're allowed to come back on the 26th of April. A lot of the players have been training hard individually and taking part in training plans, Zoom plans. So finally now we're able to get back onto the pitch. I'd like to ask all the parents and players just to be conscious again of the regulations. We have a COVID officer with each team. Our coaches will let everybody know what the regulations are, and just we want to make sure that we go back in a safe manner.
Alan, it's been very quiet on the fields, but there's been a huge amount of work taking place off it. Could you tell us about some of that and some very exciting developments?
Yeah, well, while we've been not on the pitch, we've been trying to make some strides, initiatives happen in other areas. A couple of weeks ago was a major landmark for the club. We took on board 2 games development officers, one in hurling and one in football. Jerry Spellman is the hurling games development officer and Ronan O'Donovan in football. I want to mention the committee led by Adele Murphy, who handles the process of hiring the 2 guys. And to date they've been working with our coaches on skills development, the coaching skills development online. But again, like the youngsters, they're dying to get back on the pitch and do some real work on the grass. So we're excited about what this means for our club. We have over 200 coaches, Darren, and all of them, they will talk about it in a minute, the survey that went out, but our coaches need help, they need support, they need to be upskilled. They're asking us to help them to upskill themselves, and our 2 GDOs are assigned with that task to try and help our coaching and improve the quality of our coaching in the club.
You mentioned the survey that took place in January, pretty comprehensive survey as well. What was the idea behind that, and what are the findings, and what do you hope will happen next?
There was a culture committee formed, and the first job that they decided to do was to ask the members their opinion on culture within the club and various other aspects. The response from the membership was fantastic, overwhelming in fact, and it was in the main positive. We have a club that our members are proud of. Obviously there are ways to improve that, and the survey results gave us focus on where we can focus our energy over the coming while. So some of the things that came out of that were to define our values, define our culture, and then bring that to life. So there are some people going to work on that and defining our values and bringing them to life in the club. Also, we have a 1 club 4 codes philosophy here. That's part of our DNA in the club here, and we work well in trying to integrate the hurling and football, but also one thing that came out was we could do a bit better on our gender integration. So we have some people working on that, and you'd know, Darren, the upsurge in females in the club is incredible over the last number of years. So we want to make sure that everybody is coached in a similar manner, and we integrate the 2 genders, and the girls get just as much of attention as the boys do. Also, what came back was we call it lifelong participation, but where we lose people mainly around the adolescent age group. We want to look into that and see, is there anything as a club we can do to try and encourage our youngsters to stay involved through their teens. It happens in all sports, and I don't think we're much different to others, but we really can work better in trying to encourage our adolescents to stay involved in Gaelic games. And then the final piece were communications. How do we communicate to our members? And we have some very exciting thoughts and initiatives around that area. And I suppose part of this little talk with you is to try and put a word out to our membership that we need people to help us, particularly in this field. We have experts who have the knowledge in this area, and I'm talking to one here now, and those experts are willing to give their time and their expertise, but what they are short on is time. So we have experts who are short on time, and we possibly have people who haven't the expertise but have some time. The newsletter that just went out there last week details all of the people we're looking for. We're looking for a PRO, we're looking for match reporters, graphic designers, videographers, and social media content workers. So don't be afraid if you don't know how to do this stuff. and it is a fantastic opportunity to gain knowledge in this field if you want to, if you see that that's where your interests are. And as I say again, we have people there who will put their arm around you and show you exactly what to do. So we're hoping that people will come out of the woodwork and help us in that regard. Yeah, okay.
There's a lot in there, Alan, but any other information you want to get out there?
One another initiative, mainly that I want to acknowledge Noel Tyrrell on this. He has driven the work with our new kit supplier to provide packs for all our players. They will be available in the coming days. Messages will go out into the WhatsApp groups to parents, and we want to encourage all parents to, if they can, to buy the new Salt Hill gear so our kids are all looking the same way. You know, this is particularly important when other teams come in to play us. We want to have a proper look for our club.
A sense of uniformity?
Absolutely. Through all the, as it ties back into the 4 codes, 1 club, the gender integration. So we've done a deal with a kit supplier where we have a uniform look across all of the codes on all of the genders and all of the age groups. And we're encouraging everybody to buy into that, and to, you know, kids have to wear gear. So we're hoping that they'll buy the Salt Hill gear rather than Man United gear or Liverpool gear. And I want to say one more thing too. Our coaches, I mentioned them earlier on. James Malloy is leading an initiative. It is a requirement in the GAA that our coaches have 3, we call it a passport to coach. You have to have done a child safeguarding course, you have to be Garda vetted, and you have to have a coaching qualification. Again, I mentioned we have 200 coaches. This is a lot of work to make sure all our coaches have those qualifications. So I just want to let everybody know that James is working hard trying to get all that information together. We are supplying, or we're putting on these courses in coaching qualifications and in the child safeguarding, and obviously the Garda vetting is up to yourself. It's easy to do online. So I just want you to support James in his effort to get everybody sorted in that way.